Hello, my neighbors. Very warm greetings to all of us who have come to be part of today's training, which is brought to us by one of our colleagues, Dr. Nena Amuji. My name is Odi Elijah. I currently serve as the president of OAD Global, and I'm very much excited to welcome you to this very important training. Next week, June 6th, we will have another training on AI, uh, beginning again from the scratch and moving forward, brought to us by people that are experienced in this arrangement. The information on that and registration will circulate very shortly. And in my conversation with our sister, Dr. Nena Muji, she confirmed that based on what we've supplied as our requirements and desires, which we received through the emails and the registrations, she identifies that we will not be able to finish this topic for today, but she will be bringing us other parts of it subsequently. So we will announce another date. You will receive email and you get ready to participate again. But for next Saturday, June 6th, we have already scheduled another training on using AI to do research. There's no waiting, there's no tomorrow about that. Now is the time to work. And there are a lot of dimensions and diverse engagements unfolding in that regard. And we're looking forward to being able to carry us on in that regard. And having said that, ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to introduce to you the our trainer for today, who is Dr. Nena Amuji. She is a multilingual English and Mandarin Spanish financial analyst, an energy economist distinguished with a dual track career in high impact corporate and influential global policy research. She possesses interdisciplinary expertise in energy economics, financial analysis, and green technology policy. Ladies and gentlemen, she's a scholar and she has published in both sustainability and finance journals. She currently lives in the United States, where she serves as a senior financial analyst at a Fortune 500 multinational company, Insurance Incorporated. She has demonstrated proficiency in Excel modeling, financial planning, and diverse complex tools data analytics. Her initiatives in her current role have increased team productivity by 45% through effective financial automation strategies. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Nena is globally recognized for her leadership and has been awarded the African Young Achievers Award in 2022. And she is the founder of the AfriJoy platform, which supports the African diaspora worldwide. Ladies and gentlemen, would you join me to welcome our trainer for today and for subsequent sessions on this area using Power BI? Please join me to welcome our sister, Dr. Nena Muji, who will take us further and guide us forward. Please thank you so much, dear sister, for coming up to take up this right now. Joining us all the way from the United States. Please, the floor is yours. Fire on as we learn together. All the best. Thanks.
Thank you so much. That was such an introduction. Thank you. My name is Nena Amuji, like our president just said, and I am delighted to be here. I always like an opportunity to pass knowledge to everyone around me and also to learn because I believe that as we do this, I would also learn something as you're also learning something. Um, I told our president this morning that we have a lot to cover. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about myself because I believe he's done most of that. I'm going to just jump right into it. I was looking at the at the registration, and I noticed that a lot of people there was a lot of need to cover not just the advanced part of Power BI of just, exporting it immediately. So we have to cover from the beginner to advanced. So I will try to see what we're going to be able to cover in the next 1 hour, 30 minutes. And I know it's a hands-on 1 hour, 30 minutes. I would really appreciate if you have a question, open your audio, ask. Or if there is someone who picks up the questions and ask immediately. If we are working and you don't see where we clicked or anything, please ask on the chat and anybody could respond, or maybe the moderator could pick up the question. And what else? If you are feeling left behind, please also let us know. If I'm also being too fast, please let me know. Remember, this is more like something that I do every day. So I'm going to be very, very I'm going to pay attention, very, very attentive to make sure that I'm not being too fast. But if I am, please call me back. We can always have the recorded video for everyone to watch later on after the training. And so let me just hop on what we're going to learn. So my goal today is that we're able to learn how to, 1 minute, please. We're going to be able to learn how to build an interactive dashboard. So I know some people picked that they wanted to learn how to clean the data, but I already sent out the data we're going to use before I received this. So the data is already cleaned because I wanted us to be really fast and get into Power BI. The data is already cleaned. For the part of cleaning the data before using the Power BI, I'm going to record a video on how to do that and then give it to the organizing team to circulate to everyone who registered. So I'm hoping that we're able to learn how to build an interactive dashboard, to analyze the data, to use the trend analysis. So when you're using trend analysis, you're trying to figure out how to build this. So for example, what you're looking at is something that we build. I work in insurance. It's called an assurance. So we do a lot of things like claims and data. We work a lot with data. So you see things like building these cards, building this map, building these charts and pies, and being able to put all of them in such a way that they interact with each other. So for example, if I choose this, you would notice that this board will change. Everything in here will change, right? So we're going to learn how to make all the charts to interact with each other. We're going to learn how to export them. It's one of the things that many people feel that they want to learn. We're going to learn how to export it. We're going to learn how to put this in PowerPoint, which is actually my favorite part of Power BI, is being able to put things in PowerPoint. Oh, this is blocking my view. I hate the Zoom thing, like the stuff that comes out in Zoom, it's always blocking something. Okay, but we're going to, just 1 minute. Let me move this to here. So, so the favorite thing I like about Power BI is being able to export from your Power BI directly to PowerPoint and still make them interactive. So if you were presenting, maybe you're a consultant, like you're consulting for, or you're even working on your publications, and then you want to present it. Instead of having thousands of slides, you can have 3 or 4 slides, and imagine like you put this, you publish this from Power BI, and instead of having multiple slides showing the same thing as you're presenting this, they are still interactive. So like this is PowerPoint, but it is still interactive. If I choose Asia, it still provides Asia data for me. And this is PowerPoint, and you can add like other, you can even make it shorter, like make it smaller, and then add some other, words here, and then you've created a PowerPoint. So it's one of the things I love about Power BI. At the end, at the end of today, I'd expect us to be able to produce something like this. So let me jump into how we're going to be able to do it. At this point, I I expect that everyone have downloaded that Power BI. Am I right? Because I provided how to download it. Please, can one person or two persons reply? Or maybe put it in the chat. Do we all have our Power BI desktop downloaded? Yes or no? Okay, I got a yes from someone. Please feel free to reply me. Oh, someone said no. Okay. Okay. I think I'm gotten a lot more of the no. Okay. So the first thing you have to do is to download Power BI Desktop. Attention to the desktop. Um, the team should have sent this out. Um, we have to download Power BI Desktop, which doesn't take time. So I'm expecting everyone to please go ahead to Microsoft Store and download Power BI Desktop, please.
Yeah, we
Um,
sent the email and it was well circulated. I think maybe some people are still handling it, but we sent out the emails.
okay, thank you.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know if it's still like that, but like one thing I noticed when I was in China was I wasn't very good at looking at my emails. I think we got so used to WeChat and information just circulating. I'm saying this because someone said she didn't see her email. I got so used to not looking at my email because I always thought, they'll send it to me on WeChat. Are we are we doing that already, please? One of the people who said no, can you give me a yes if you already downloaded your Power BI? For season Power BI desktop, because there are two Power BIs. We'll get to learn it as we work on this. There is something called Power BI app, and then there's something called Power BI desktop. Okay, thank you, Shadrach. Sure, Paul, I'm giving us a few minutes to download the Power BI. So the fastest way would be to go to Microsoft Store. Oh, are you already there? So I don't know if it's gonna. And then you search here for Power BI. Here, and then just let me know when we get on this. Okay, 2 more minutes and we should be good. Okay. Thank you, Ibrahim. Okay. Thank you, Bona. So for people who said they didn't receive any email, that means you don't have the data we need, right? I would also appreciate if you can um check your email and see if you can find the data because the data was also attached to the email that was sent to you. So now that you're waiting for your Power BI to download, if you can look at the email and see if you can find the data that we need, because we need the data was also attached. So if you can download it, that would be great. Uh, Tamal and Shalwa, I'm not able to email you the data, but I'm sure that the organizing team already sent out the data to everyone who registered. Ah, okay, that makes sense. Let me see if it's something that I can send here. Um, okay, so for people who were invited by someone else, I just sent the data to the chat. Let me know if you can download it because I've never tried to download an Excel file through Zoom. Let me know if you can download it. Okay, I just sent the data. There is an Excel file that says training data one. Try, see, let me know if you can. You're welcome, Korea. Um, Diallo, what we're doing right now is just giving a few minutes to people who are trying to install their Power BI. Okay, great. I see a couple of people said it's downloaded, it's installing. Um, and someone said they've been able to download the data. Perfect. I want to believe that the others already have the data downloaded and saved where you can find it. So now this is for everyone. Or should I give one more minute, President? What do you think? One more minute to get installed?
Yeah, I think it's fine to give one more minute. Let's see if more people get to install. Yes, please. Let's have the one more minute.
Okay.
Thank you. Right. Uh, Okwabumi, there's no Power BI for Mac.
Oh, wow.
It's only Microsoft. I'm sorry, Windows. Only Windows. But you can use the uh, online Power BI, which you can find on browser, but you can't use it for most things. It's very minimal.
Uh, I'm not sure I understand what you mean by set up. Tomal, I'm trying to understand what you asked. You're asking if you can have a setup for Power BI. Oh, okay. Oh, software. Mm. Do you know anybody in this meeting who can share their Power BI with you and then you try? But the easiest way I know is to download it from the Microsoft Store. And it's free. Okay, immediately it's 8:30 because I know we're supposed to close at least at 9:30. Immediately it's 8:30, I'm gonna start just so that we are able to maximize time. Great. Um, so I would love if everyone can open their not WeChat, Power BI to if you just installed your Power BI. Yes, of course, you can check the recordings after it. So I'm going to try my best to not get distracted by the chart. So, if there is, I'm sure the moderator can reply to Mr. Tan. If you just install your Power BI, it will open up to something like this, or it will open up, and the first thing you will see will be the first thing you will see is blank report. So if you have your Power BI open. First thing I want us to do is go to File. Please, this is really important for us to get the same result. Go to File, scroll down to Options and Settings. Click on Option and Settings, and then go to Options. So this step is very important to set up your Power BI, especially if you're somebody that just downloaded it or installed it right now. Or if you've been using it, but you can't figure out why your stuff is not interacting with each other. Or if you have downloaded it before now, but you just have never opened it before. So when you click on the options, it's going to take like a few seconds and it's going to pull up something like this. I want us to go to the preview features. Go to the preview features here. Now, if you're on the preview features, you would notice that some of your features are not on. They are not turned on. If you've never used your Power BI before, you'd notice that some features like list slicer visual is not turned on. Please turn it on. Prep data for AI might not be turned on. You can, but I don't think we're gonna get to AI today, but please turn it on. Connect to SQL databases, turn it on. Um, please look at my features. See the features that I have green on them mapped. Please try to see if try to make sure that they match yours. Because I want us to be able to get the same interactive dashboard by the time we're done. Scroll up. Okay, great. Here. This is also very important. I want us to make sure it's turned on. The interaction of object, please make sure they're on. Okay, I'll keep scrolling down. Then you need to be able to publish when we're done. So please make sure this is on. Can I get a thumbs up if we're done with this? And then once you're done, please click OK.
Where is that thing? The interactive, whatever. I can't see it.
You can't see?
You said use new data breaks, use new Google big query. I have this, and then
I'm gonna just take a picture of this and send it to her.
okay. Hmm. Preview features. Bear with us. We are slow learners.
It's okay. Can I get a thumbs up if we're done? The goal is just to have the same features turned on. Thank you,
Got
Gordon.
it. Got it.
So
Sure.
when you're done, please click OK. Just immediately click OK. I'm gonna click cancel because I already have it and I don't want it to. So if you click OK, it's going to something is gonna pop up. Um, okay.
Restart.
So if you click OK, it's going to ask you to restart. Please do that. It's not gonna take time. In 1 minute, it's going to restart. But you need to restart for those features to be able to click in to go in. Activate. Forgive my English, it's still very early. Okay, this is just the slow part of this work. For the people who are already experts in this, just forgive us. But once we're done with this, we will get moving immediately.
Are we restarting the whole computer system or just Power
No,
BI?
just that's Power BI, just like I restarted mine.
I see. Thank you.
It's going to ask you to do a restart. Just click OK and restart.
Mm-hmm.
So when you restart it first times, it's gonna do like this because it's just trying to like, put you in, it's a computer, obviously. So, um, but yeah, when you start it, it's going to just be like this. So I'm going to quickly go back to what we just did just to make sure everybody's following me. So if you install your Power BI, it's going to come open like this and show you blank report. If it's not showing like this, it might show blank report, like the yellow blank report Power BI. It's still perfect as long as you have something called file up here. Go here, click on file, go to options and settings, go to options. Give it a few minutes. It's coming. Not few minutes, seconds. It's probably. Then you go to features. Where's my features? Preview features here under global preview features. And just make sure that our features are the same. For anybody who did not catch this, I sent a picture of the features that I expect you to catch. Bona, you are good. Your interface is good. Yeah, black report, good. Were you able to turn on the features? Did you get to that part?
Not yet. I'm kind of lost here. I need to click the files, but I'm not seeing the files option.
Click on
I just
blank
installed
report.
it.
Click on blank report.
Oh, okay, okay.
And
Oh,
yeah,
I see. The file
click on blank
option.
report. Do you see it?
Yeah, I've gotten file. I've clicked on files now.
Thank you.
Then options, right? Okay,
Yes.
blank.
Yes. So if you just downloaded it, it's going to show you blank report. Just click on
Yeah,
that
okay.
blank report. Mm. Someone with Huawei as name said no. What do you mean by no? Again, please just scroll up a few chat earlier, like by 8:35, I sent the things that I want us to, the features that I want us to have on. And once you turn on these features, which shouldn't take 10 seconds to turn on, just click OK. And when you click OK, it's going to request to restart. Give it a go ahead to restart. If you've never used Power BI before, but it's asking you to restart and you don't know what to do, you can just close. You can just close it here on the close, just like the way you close your Excel, close it here and go to where you installed it and double click again for it to restart. And when it restarts, it will either show you a blank report or it will open up like this. Most times it will open up like this because now it's your second time to use it. Okay, so I'll go on. So when you restart and it opens up this way, then we know that we have our Power BI features all activated and we're ready to work. Now, the first thing first, we have to import the data that we want to use. Most data, like you would have collected your data that you want to use for maybe your research or particular work that you're consulting for, or the questions you want to answer. Most of this data, first of all, would need cleaning, right? You clean your data. That's the part that I said I'm going to send a video on how to clean your data because the data we're using was sent, I think, on a Wednesday, so it was already cleaned so that we can get working. Now, if you want to import your data, it depends on where you have this data. If the questions that you collected or the questionnaire you collected are in your SQL server, if there are like you want to impute them yourself on Power BI, you click this one. If they're on SQL server, you click this one. But I always advise everybody to do like Excel because then you would have used Excel to clean your data, right? Power Query is done on Excel. Then you would have used Excel to clean your data, and then you want to import it down directly to Power BI. So the data we're using today is an Excel data. Yes, please close and reopen. I'll click on import data from Excel. Remember that the data that I sent out to us was an Excel data. And I already saved it where I'll find it, right? So if I click on import data from Excel, I'll go to where I saved it. I saved it as training data one. So I'll pick it up from here and click on Open. So when I open this data, it's going to, this is basically me saying, I want you to connect this Excel data to Power BI. You just give it a few seconds and it will tell you what to do next. So most times when you import a data to Power BI, it's going to ask you how you want this data to be displayed. They will always give you two options, data one and data, like not data one, but like two different options. But this time it called it data one and data, right? If you are using Power BI, anytime you see something that looks like this with a color on the top and without two legs, I call them two legs because I feel like they are legs. If it doesn't have two legs, it's a table. It is a table, T-A-B-L-E. But if it has two legs and the top is plain, it is a matrix. And to explain to us what matrix means, matrix is basically pivot table. How many of us here have used a pivot table on Excel? I just want to get a thumbs up so that I'm sure of the kind of crowd that I'm talking to. How many of us have used a pivot table? Great, I got one person. So a matrix is a pivot table. Okay, we have not. Okay, so I will get to that point. But this is a table and this is a pivot table. Again, this is a table and this is a pivot table. But for now, let's choose a table, and then later on, we're going to choose a pivot table, and then we'll see how it works. But please remember, this is not called a pivot table in Power BI. This is called a matrix, M-A-T-R-I-X. So we're going to choose a table, and then we'll load. So whenever you choose how you want your data, how you want to view your data, it's going to show you what you chose. If I choose that I want to view as a table, see, it's going to bring out all the data that I choose here. So let's say that, for example, I thought, oh, there is a space I would have loved to add quality, or I would have loved to add another column to this. Instead of load, I can go to transform data. So there are different ways things you can do to your data. You can either load the data and start working on it immediately if you were very sure that your data is clean. But if you want to add more things to your data, I can go to transform data. And when you click on transform data, it's pulling up. I do not like how slow this is this morning. Okay, I'm gonna try to minimize some things. So when you click on transform data, another table will come up, which is the Power Query Editor. And that's the place I said, if you want to clean your data, you're not sure that the data is clean enough, you can remove a column, you can add a column, but I will be recording a video. Again, this is the third time I know I'm now sounding like a bell. I'm going to record a video on how to clean this data and using the Power Query Editor, because this data that I put here is already clean, so I wouldn't want us to tamper with it much. So I'll just close this. There were no changes. Let me just get my data again because I closed it out. Please don't be slow. Just give it a minute. Like if it is not showing you load or transform, it's possibly because you have not selected if you want a table or a matrix. You have to select a table. Remember that part?
Could you please go back to that part of selecting a table? How do you get to that point?
Okay, just give me a minute. I'm not sure why the screen is not responding. Just 1 minute, please. Can you share your screen? Let me see what you're seeing. Because you should be able to see it. Someone was asking that part. Can you share your screen?
My screen, I'm still on add data to your report. Let's import data from Excel, data from SQL Server. That page, I'm there.
Okay.
Mm.
Import data from Excel. Did you click? Have you imported the data? What is it saying?
Excel? So just opening my documents. I don't have that data you have.
Okay, so has it shown you, can you, is it possible for him to share his screen so I see what he's seeing? Because I need to, I can,
I'm using a different computer from the one I'm using for the Zoom.
but is it showing that you have a data and then it's showing the data one and the other second data?
No, that is it's not just opening my computer files.
Have you selected the file, the training file?
No.
Okay, then you need to be able to select the training file because if not, there is no way it will show you the next one.
Hello, can I be given access to share my screen? I'm the one that the host has disabled screen sharing for participants. Please, I need to show you the point I am.
Please, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
My data is showing, the data in preview has been truncated due to size limit. The load and the transform data option is unclickable. So I need to show you what's the point I am so as to know where I got it wrong.
You should be able to do that now.
Thank you.
The global Power BI training data. Okay. How come it's not downloading?
See, it's showing, right? Yeah, that's it there. So you have to choose a table. Choose the first one, please. Click on the box. Yeah. So that's when, yes. So just click on load. Yes. So your data will start loading. If your load is not highlighted, it's because you have not selected the box. You have to select the box of if you want to, what is it called? If you want a table or a matrix, if not, your load is not going to be highlighted.
Is this file downloadable?
Can you
Why the
remove?
global Power BI?
Understood. Thank you.
So now you have your data. Your data is in there already.
I don't have this data. This training looks extremely powerful. I don't want to miss a thing.
Yeah, Dr. Saka, you now have the ability to share your screen if you need to.
Okay. This data, I want to download it. What am I seeing here?
Is someone else having any problem? If your load is not highlighting, it's because you're not clicking on the box. Don't double click on the box, just one click on the box, please.
Mm. Desktop, okay, I'll put it there.
May I share my screen, please? So you can
Okay.
see. After importing the data and loading, I can see.
You are not sharing your
I
screen
can't
yet.
see anything.
You are not
Yeah.
sharing your screen yet.
I haven't been enabled. The host has to enable me to share my screen.
Okay.
Who's that, please?
Yeah, Sam. Sam.
Okay. Yeah, you should be able to do that now.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So this is what I see after loading. It's showing just a blank sheet.
You already imported the data.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
imported
good.
and then loaded. But
Yeah, the
yeah, but I
data
can
is.
see.
Oh, okay. Just
So where it is.
just be like a little bit patient for the people who are waiting to import their data. But yeah, you are on the
Okay.
right track. You already imported the data, and you clicked on load, right?
So
Yes,
it's,
I
I'm
clicked on
there.
this and it
Yes,
brought
you
me
are
to
there.
this place.
Go to data one, then load, right?
Yes, click on the table and then load.
Yes. Uh,
So let me quickly share my screen, Sam. You're on the right track. I will stop you from sharing. Okay.
one,
Thank you.
load. I got it.
Okay.
I'm there now.
So just for anyone who's joining us late, if you click on import data from Excel, it's going to show you something like this. This you will not be able to load until you click on one of either of these boxes. We will get to how to use matrix, but right now let's take a step, one step after the other. So we're going to click on table. Once you click on the table, one of these are going to highlight, and then we click on load. Just give it a few seconds. I can explain what is happening. So another way you would know that your data is already in is if you look here, the data pane. There will be something called a data pane that will show up in the right-hand side, right? Data pane will show up, and then here you will have something more here that shows that you have the data inside here. So mine is still loading because I kind of started from the beginning. So as this is loading, let me just be taking the time to explain to us. Here, if you click on the first thing you see here, it's called build. So this is where you find all the instruments, equipment, if you can call it, that you need to build your report. The first one. Sorry, wrong information. The first one is your data. This is the first pane. So if you click on it, it's going to show you, oh, you now have a data inside this thing. So you know you have a data. Then the second one is build, which is here. It shows you all the things that you need to build this report, all the charts, all the graphs, all the cards, the table again, and that thing that I said that have two legs, matrix. I do not need you right now, but mistakenly clicked it. The matrix, the script visual, all the things that you need to build whatever you want to build is under the place called build. Then another place is format. If you click on this, all the things that you need to create a format to be able to format through whatever you are building, like the colors and the sizes and wallpapers are all in format. If you also look up here, you see all the things that we need. This is just to help us to publish. If you already have AI activated in your computer, most times you have AI here. Then you have quick measure. We will learn how to use all these things here. The no visual calculations, we will learn how to use them. Then the more visual calculation, the text box, this is the same as this. You just choose which is convenient for you. But here is the same as here. You'd notice that the same things that are here, right? And then there are new visuals. Like if you want to import new visuals from online, like you are not satisfied with all the things they have here, you want to get more online. You want to refresh your data. You are working on this data and you suddenly find out that there is something it doesn't have that you want. You can transform the data. Recent sources, everything here. Then there is an insert page where we can insert more text box. There is modeling. Also, we would learn how to use some of these things if time permits us. And then also view and how to change like the colors of what we have done. So to just help us to jump in, first of all, let's look at our data. If you click on the arrow next to your data, it's going to expand and it's going to show you all the columns that you have, all the titles or headings and columns that you have in the data that you imported. Now, in this data, you would notice that we have channels, we have city, we have sales, cost of sales, and we have country and manufacturer, and we have order date and order ID, and then the profit, and then sales. So one thing you have to pay attention to, and also as somebody who plays with data, you would have noticed that as what a summation sign would mean, right? So if you see a summation sign in front of any data, you just know that they are values. So for example, manufacturer is probably a name, but sales, you already know it's a value. It is how much money? Yes. Then profit is also a value. Like it's a number. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4. Then this is also a number. This is also a number. When you see something like this in front of any data, it means like this is not a number. This is more like a date. It's something that has to do with dates. It's something that has to do with time and series. Do we have any question here before I go ahead? Okay, great. No question. So
Carry on, please. Thank you.
thank you. So first thing first, let's learn from simple to difficult. So the simplest things to create are more like tables. So here I would like you to really follow me, please, because once we are able to build this basic foundation, you would be able to do most of the things that we'll do as we go on. So first, let's create a table. Click on table and you see it appear here. Someone had asked me to increase this to like 85. I hope this is big enough. I'm sorry, I did it before, but I forgot, please. I hope this is big enough for you now. So we clicked on table and a table appeared. So the table is going to ask you, so what do you want to do with this table? So let's say that I want to ask my table, I want to find out how many manufacturers are in this data that I imported, and what is the value associated to this data. So I'm going to click on manufacturer. Now pay attention to where it appeared here. And there are different ways to do this. If you don't like, you can either, so let me remove here. Let me quickly remove it. You can drag and drop. You can drag this manufacturer and put it here under your build. Please be doing this the same time with me so that you don't get lost, okay?
I'm lost already.
You're lost already. Okay, just drag the manufacturer and put it under your build. Or click on it.
I don't know what I clicked. I lost my
Which
build.
table did you click?
I clicked on the first table. Remember that any table that has leggedness is matrix. So I clicked on the first table.
This build thing, I lost it. Build.
If you lose your build, go here by this place here. Click on the second one. Because sometimes you might mistakenly hide it, or sometimes probably I will hide it for you just because you're using this small screen and it thinks, oh, this screen is too small to show everything. So just click on the build here and it will open it up. So I can also even close this. If you click on the build, it will open up the build. If you also click on it again, it will close it up. It will close it back. Whatever I click on, it will close. So if I click on this build now, it's going to close. But if I click on it, I activate it, it's going to open. Now choose your table and let's bring our manufacturer to the table. The easiest way to bring the manufacturer to the table is by selecting it. It will automatically know where to put it because it is advanced. And you can also drag and drop under the build and it will do that for you. Or another way to import it is, let's remove it again. You drag the manufacturer and put it on the table. Okay, I see we are following.
I'm lost.
Yeah, for now I'm following.
Okay, great. Shadrach, were you able to receive the data? Oh, no. What did I click on?
This is all I can see. This thing called build. I don't see it all. Where is it here?
So Shadrach, I am going to send you the data again. Please open. And Joseph, what do you see you're looking for, please?
I'm looking for those cylinders, those blocks. I don't
What?
see it here. You see, in yours, I can see this. Let me show you. I see this in yours. But on my side, I don't see it.
Do you see the stuffs by this side? You don't see them at all in
I don't
yours?
see it. I don't see this.
Do you have build?
I did not see this. Let me send you.
But do you have this on the top here? Insert here. Do you have it?
Insert, yes, I can see home, insert modeling, view, optimize, help, whatever.
Do you see this, what I'm showing you here? Like this place here.
No. New visual, whatever, no.
I don't think you turned on your features properly. If you turn on all your features, you should be able to see this.
So I should go back to option settings, options again.
Okay.
Maybe I didn't.
Just let me know when you catch up with us, okay?
Sorry, before you go, I want to ask, do we have the same data under this manufacturer? Because from what I have here, mine stopped at Southridge Video. So
because
this phone
your
company and
screen,
the wide world importance
it's there.
is not.
It's probably because your
Okay.
screen is smaller. I'm using a wide screen.
Okay.
Mm. I'm using a widescreen and I increase it to 80%, so it's showing you everything. So if you put your manufacturer, and then let's say initial questions that I said was we were looking for the data, the numbers, the values, or you say you want to see the sales that is associated to each of these manufacturer, how much they sell like every month or every year or every day. And then let's bring in the sales. Remember, there are different ways to bring this in. You can click in or you can drag in. So I'm just going to click it in and it will tell me sum of sales. So it has brought it in, right? Now, one of the things that is basic that I want us to learn, because we're going to use it as we go to the other further advanced part, is say you want to change the name of this because you don't want it to be sum of sales. You want it to be total sales because that's what you want to see. That's what you want the people, like by the time you're done with the visualization, you want people to see total sales done by this manufacturer. Double click inside here. Double click, please. Emphasis on double clicking. And then backspace, and then change the name to total. And enter. Now you can easily change the name to total sales, right? So let's also learn how to format because that is the basis on which we're using Power BI. So let's click on our format here. Remember, you can close it and you can open it. So let's click on here to format. Everything we can do and play with in formatting is now here. So the first one is size and style. So let's say we want to change the size and the position, which I don't want to right now because I don't want it to be too tiny or too big from what you see. But you can select any of this. You want the size to be bigger. You want the width to be bigger. You can increase any of this. You can do anything you want to do with the size. So let's say we wanted to have a background color, which I don't think I wanted to have a background color, but if we wanted to have a background color, we can put it here. We can select a color. You see, it now has a background color. But let's say we don't want to have a background color because it could be distracting. Most times I like my work to be just white. So I'll just put it white, right? Now, another thing you have to pay attention to is that most times it will specify to you where the formatting that you're about to do is going to be shown, right? So size and style is mostly on the table and not on the value. Remember, these are all the things we could do. So these are mostly on the table, but here is where you format on the value. So we've looked at size and style. So we've looked at size and style. Let's look at title. So do we want it to have a title? We can say, yeah, we want this to be titled sales by manufacturer, for example. Right? So once you type it in, you click enter, it's going to come up here. And here you have sales by manufacturer. And is there something you want to explain in the, in the subtitle? If no, you just turn it off. If yes, you can put a subtitle. If it's on, you'll be able to test. If no, you can just turn it off. Even for the title, the same thing. Say I don't want a title, for example. I just don't want it to have a title. I turn it off and there is no title. Now, also pay attention that sometimes when you bring in this table, you might be thinking that the stuff up here is the title, and no, that's not the title. That has a different name. We'll get to that part. But the place where it asks you for a title, that is the title. So let's say
Please,
that
where
we
do you
don't.
turn off? Where do you turn off? Where did you turn off the subtitle from, please? You clicked on somewhere to turn it off, the subtitle.
Okay. Do you see subtitle here? There's a switch that says on or off. For your subtitle to show you that switch, your
Yes,
title has to be
yes.
on.
Oh,
Have you
yes,
seen
yes,
it?
yes. Yes, yes.
Great. So if you turn off your title, your subtitle will automatically turn off too.
Okay, thank you so much, ma.
Welcome. So the next one we're going to look at is style and presets. This is basically like, what style do you want? Do you want it to be bolder? Do you want it to be flashier? Most times I don't really do the styles because people want their work to be as clean as possible, and you want your work to be as straightforward as possible, right? So you can also want your header to be bolder to, just beautify your work any way you want. After this, see, to master Power BI, you have to play around your formatting. So after this training, you can play around the formatting a little bit and see what you prefer, how you like your work to look like. Then the layout is basically like, do you want it to fit to content? Do you want it to grow to fit? So like someone said that they couldn't see like the start reach video. Right now I have it fit to content. So it means that whatever my table will keep expanding. If I had more manufacturers, like 20 manufacturers, my table will be as long as this, right? It will be long. So I want it to fit to the content of it, right? If you want it to grow to fit, that means you want it to, so let me put it. See, it's going to, if I had like only two, the table will be as small as two, right? And then the more you add, the table will expand. But for now, let's just put it to fit to content. So whatever content I put in there, it will fit to it. You would notice the change that happened. So let's close the layout. Let's go to the grid. So this is basically if you want to add lines. I'm taking my time to explain this format because we will not explain it again as we go forward. And I want you to be able to choose whatever way you want to format your table after this. So we go to grid, and if I turn on the horizontal grid lines, you see there is a line on this table, right? If I turn it off, there is no line. This is also another one that people use a lot. Say you want to, if you turn this on, you're going to have a vertical line. You see, there's now a line here. If you turn it off, no line, right? So let's say that we don't want this to have a line. We just want it to be beautiful this way. And then now we are on the values. Remember I said that the places before the value, any of the formatting that is not on the values is probably going to be on the table. Not probably, possibly on the table. So now we're working on the values. So let's say that this is too tiny for you. You don't want it to be 10.5. You want it to be like 12. So as you click, you'd notice that it expands, right? As you click, you'd notice it expands. Someone said before that they couldn't see some things on their table. Do you now see that the more I expand, the more it's not, some things are not showing because they are bigger? But you can just expand.
Yes.
You can now widen your table to see them. Oh, Genevieve says she's lost. Okay, I don't know. Okay, I think you should just pay attention to me explaining the formatting because I want us to get to format it because we're going to work on a lot of things. But if you are able to format, you might not even need to look at me as we work on it. You'll just know where to find them. Okay. Thank you. So that is the values, right? So you can increase the numbers. So let's say we want to change the text color. We don't want it to be this color. We want it to be black. And we can change them to black, right? So we want the background to have a color. You can do that, but I don't think I need the background of my numbers to have a color. But just to let you know, you can always like select any colors if you're the type that like your numbers having a color. And text wrap. This is basically if there is a long text and you want it to come under. So even if it's already on, well, we don't really need it because there is no text that need to be wrapped here. So that's why it looks like it's not working. But these are for the values. Now, remember we mentioned that this is not title. These are called column headers. So column headers are like this. So let's say that this, because already our value, we have increased it to 12, and then our column headers are so tiny. Let's increase our column headers to like 12, right? So we can increase it to 12. And let's say we want our column headers to have a color just to make it beautiful. We can add a color to it. See, it's having a shape now, and we want it to be bolder, right? And which is, it's looking more beautiful, right? So you can do all these to your column headers. You can align them to the middle, bring it to the middle. You can take them to the left. You can take them to the right. Anything. And also test wrap is when it is a long header and you want it to, instead of being just straight, and you want it to just wrap on each other. Now the next would be the totals. So our totals are already these totals, and we can see that our total is bold already. So if your total is not bold, just click on bold and it will be bold. If you don't want it to be bold, you can change it, and you don't want your total to be bold. But if you do, you just click on bold and it will be bold. And then you can always change. Please, you don't have to make yours look like mine. Be creative. You can do red, you can do pink, whatever color you want. What matters is that you're learning where to pick them from, right? So see that we want the background of our total to have another color, like maybe like it should be like darker, something like this. We can also choose not to. You can decide that you don't want, you just want to leave it the way it is. It will go back to default. And then another place is specific column. So this is when you're trying to format a specific column. So I don't want to format, if you notice all this time that we've been formatting, both the manufacturer and the sales have been moving, right? So let's say I don't want to format the manufacturer. I just want anything that I touch to be on, to format only on the value. If I click here, I can select total sales. Are you following me, please? This specific column is very important because sometimes you just want to work on the values only and not the names of whatever it is that you're working on. So like, let's say you're working on the age of children in the age of this group, that group, and you have the names of the people and you have the numbers, but you just want to format the number only. You come to the specific column, you select the particular column that you're trying to adjust. Now, one thing you would notice is that you will see that it's saying it's already automatically turned on values for you. That's because the Power BI recognizes that this is a value. So this is already automatically turned on. So we come to the value, and what do we want to change? So let's say that we want this to be whole numbers. We don't want the decimal places, like the 2 decimal places. We don't want that. So already the display unit is on none, which is perfect, because I don't want it to have dollars in the front or millions at the back. We just want it to be whole number. So the value of the decimal places is what we want to change. It is on automatic, it's going to show you 2 decimal places. But let's say we don't want it. You go to the down arrow and you remove it. If you want 1 decimal place, you can increase it to 1. If you want 2, you can increase it to 2. But let's say we want it to just be whole numbers. So that is when you're formatting on the, specific column. Now, cell elements, most times you would hardly touch this, but this is mostly like you want to change this cell only. If you want to change the manufacturer cell, maybe you want it to have a different color compared to the total cells. You see that this one, you can change the background color of that manufacturer part, and then you choose the colors, right? And but truly try as much as possible to just keep your work clean and no too much colors to distract the people that are looking at it. Then this part is more like when you see accessibility in Excel, it's just like who can have access to this particular table. So these are the part of the formatting that we will be using a lot. And I really hope that everybody followed through and captured how to put them, because now we're going to start working. Now let's say that you don't like the way this is close to this. You want to, expand it. If you put your cursor on top of this table, you see there is this thing that always appears. Oh, but please appear for me. Right. If you put it in the middle, there is this stuff that will appear, this cross line that will appear, you can use it to expand it. Or even, bring it closer. So just allow the stock cross to appear in the middle of the table, and then you can always expand. Did everyone get to this point? Because now we're going to start working on the numbers.
Come again, please.
Did everybody get to this point? Do we have any question that has to do with, okay, great. Someone said they're good. Great, great, great. Okay. Now, I think next thing I want us to look at is quickly.
Sorry, I didn't get the spacing. How did you space between the manufacturer and the total sales?
If you put your cursor in between manufacturer and total sales, a cross line will pull up. You can use it to expand it or close it. Now, let's say that I want my table to sort. Like when you're using Excel, you're able to sort your data from highest to lowest. How do you sort on Power BI? So the easiest way to sort on Power BI is to click on the value you want to sort. So if I click on this total sales, please follow me. If I click on this total sales here, it will sort. It would sort from highest to lowest. If what you're looking for is to sort from lowest to highest, click on it again, it will sort from lowest to highest. Click, and it will sort from highest to lowest. Great. So to basically practice this first one, I'm going to send something in the group, but we're going to keep working. I'm sending this in the group, not group, the chat, so that after we're done with this training, if you just want to try to work on this, you'll be able to do it, but I'm going to send this to the chat. This is an activity that I had prepared for us to work on, but we took a lot of time installing Power BI. So this activity is something that I want us to just work on and see if you have captured how to do this. So if you sort, remember how to sort. If you click on this, you'll be able to sort, right? So let's say another thing, we want to create another table. But I don't want to start from the beginning to start formatting again. I just want to use the same format that I had here. So what you can do is do copy, Ctrl+C, and Ctrl+V. That is it. It will copy this exact table. But then this second table, but then this second table, I don't want it to be sales. I want it to be profit, for example. Then I can close out of this. I can quickly remove the sales and put the profit that I want, right? So remember, we can change the names, right? I don't want it to have sum of profit. It's not really sounding pretty. I can double click inside here, double click, and change the names to total profit. So I don't have to start from the beginning to format this table anymore. I'm just going to use the same format because I want them to appear the same, right? So if you just copy this table and paste, and you get it. Or if you don't even want to copy, another way to get the same formatting is let's say that I do table. I started from the beginning again and I clicked on table. And then I bring in my manufacturer and I bring in my profit and I say, but, oh, I don't want to format it this way. I can click on this. There is something called Format Painter up here, up by your menu pane, like your menu. Click on Format Painter and then here. And it will give you the same format. I'm just going to delete this. So that way it saves you time and you don't have to repeat what you've done before. Now, quickly, let's talk about the interactive part of this whole data. If you notice, if I click on this, it already automatically interacts with this second table because that's how Power BI works. It assumes that you want your data to be interactive. If I click on this, it interacts with this. If I click on this, it interacts with this. Now the question is, what if I am still working and I don't want it to interact with each other? Like I'm still working and I don't want them to interact with each other. If you click on any empty part of this table, the interaction will stop. All right, I want it to stop. Okay. I don't know. I have to expand my table. So if you click on any empty part of this table, the interaction will stop. But I don't want to keep, tiptoeing around my data as I work because I'm still working. So what you do is go to Format, Edit Interaction. Format, Edit Interaction, click on Edit Interaction. And something like a circle would appear. So this is what actually allows it to interact with each other. This means filter. That means that it's showing that filter is on. It means that your interactive data is on. This is none. It means that you can turn it off. So if I turn this off and I click on this, you would notice that this doesn't change. So you can do this if you're still working and you don't want your data to be interacting with each other. You can click on Edit Interaction and you close it. And then when you're done, remember to remove it because if you don't remove it, your data would not interact with each other. So to get to total sales, I changed the name of the sales to total sales. What I did was bring in sales here, bring it in, and then double click and change the name. You can always change the name of your data to whatever you want your end user to see, right? So remember we closed this, and now the question is, how do I bring it back, right? You can take it back to filter, and then it starts working again, right? So now that we've taken it back to filter, you see that if I click on one, this will move. If I click on another one, this will move. Okay. I want to assume that we've gotten this formatting part.
Please, how did you copy this table? I can't find this copy icon on my bar.
Control C.
It's not there. Control C and Control V, right?
Yes, or you can do copy and then paste. But Control C, Control V works perfectly. And when you do it, sometimes it will paste on the table. Don't think you haven't done it.
Yeah.
When you do Control V, it will paste on the table. Just drag it. You'll see that it has happened.
Okay, thank you so much. I have like 3 already.
Yeah, sometimes you're like, Control V, where is it? Where is it? Like it's on the table. You just have to. Yeah. Okay, so quickly.
Exactly what happened to me.
Yeah.
Now I have 3 tables, one for profit, one for total sales, one for price. I'm just practicing on my own.
You can delete any of them. You can delete any of them. You can delete any of them. So let's go to the next one, which is like changing the values. So let's say that you have already the total of the sales. But what I want to get to right now is I want to get to not just total. I want to have average. I want to have minimum. I want to have highest. So it's possible that when you collected your data, you just have the name of the school and the age group. But you don't want it to just appear only in total. You want average, you want minimum, you want maximum, you want count. Now, how do we do it as a person? So let's keep working on this particular table that we're using, right? Sorry, mistakenly closed my video. Let's keep working on this particular table. Now, let's use sales. Let's keep using our sales because we do not have enough time. Oh, we're running out of time. But you can also import your sales again below here. Remember how I said we can always drag and select, right? So now we have 2 sales, right? But I don't want this to be total sales. I want it to be average. Now, please follow me. Click on the arrow here that says data options. The arrow that says data options, and it will show you a field that says sum of sales. It means we're working with sum right now, right? Summarization, click on the arrow of the summarization, and you will see that there are different ways you can represent your sales. You can have average, minimum, maximum, count, count distinct, count. Does anyone here know the difference between count distinct and count? Okay, we'll get to that point. You can do standard deviation, you can do variance, you can do median, right? The difference between count distinct and count is like when you're counting something, when you're working on a data, right? There is a difference between count distinct and count. If I'm working on data and I have the names of these people, they can be 10 names representing, like it can appear 10 names because it's 10 different stores or 10 different people or 10 different schools, but they have 10 names. But I don't want to show the 10 names. I want to show just, if this name appear 10 times, I want it to just be 1, to be counted as 1. Then you use count distinct. That is, if the name of this school or if the name of this manufacturer appears 10 times, I want it to be counted as 1. If the name of this product appears 10 times, I want it to be counted as 1. So you use count distinct. But if you just want normal count of 1, 2, 3, 4, then you use count. That's the difference between count distinct and count. So let's try average. We'll do average, right? And remember, you can always change the name, the way it appears. I feel like it's too long, and I double click inside and I do average sales. Enter. See, I now have average sales. So now I want you, as you have seen me do this, I would like you to do minimum sales, maximum sales, and count of sales. Please, let's start. Let's work.
OK，我来翻成232，232，不是22。
Please, ma, are you there?
Yes, I am. We are working. We are adding different other things that you would like to add to your table.
Yeah, once I write and change the name to maybe average, every other thing will change together. Like
No, it should not.
The total sales will change to average. Both will become average sales. Average. Why? What did I get wrong?
It should not. You're saying that
Made the same mistake like you. The reason is because you tried to edit the name. What you are supposed to do is click on the arrow. Once you click sales, it will come as total sales. Then you click on the arrow. Once you click on the arrow, you come down to the sum, to the summarization. And then you click average. Okay. So it's supposed to change to average on its own. You are not supposed to edit it to average. Yes.
Okay, yeah, okay, I've done that. Okay.
Good. I made the same mistake.
Okay,
and I learned from it.
Oh, thank you, bro.
Okay, so let's do average sales, lowest sales, highest sales, please. Thank you. And it's not even about changing the name. The most important thing is about making sure that the summarization part has maximum or minimum, right? Great, someone say they're done. So the next thing, can you please click create something that count of sales. So count of sales. Remember, now you're counting a value. If you're counting a value, you don't need to use count distinct because values are not names. Values are numbers. So if you're counting a value, try your best to just do go here and choose count. Now, so let's see, like we said, let's practice count distinct. How do we use count distinct? So let's say that we want to, in these values, we want to add the, what is it called? The product name. So now there are now different, we want to know how many product were sold by this particular person. Now by this particular manufacturer, or what manufactured by this particular manufacturer. So if I use the product name, if I bring the product name down here, you would notice that it's listing me the names, but I don't want them to be in names. I want them to be in count, because that way I'm able to count it. Because if you notice, you see that they're appearing double, right? They're the double of this product. I want to count the product and not just the name. I don't want the name of the product. So if you go to the same data option, the summarize part, you choose count distinct. You would also notice that when it comes to name and not value, that there are different ways you can summarize it. You can choose the first name. You can choose the last name. You can choose the normal count. But let's do count distinct, because we want the, if contoso appears 10 times, we want to count it as 1. So that's how you use count distinct, right? Or no, this same also goes, okay, let's say that we want to see the country. Let's create another table, because I don't want you to think that you can only create table of sales, right? Let's bring in the country. Now you see, if I don't want to start from the beginning to format this table, I can just go here, remember, and click Format Painter, and just click in here, and it will format it the same way, right? Now we have all the names of the country that we want to see. And then say we want to see, like the same way we want to see all these ones. Let's just say sales, and no need to like do everything from the beginning. So we want to see this country by the highest sales. If you click on this, remember, it will sort. Okay. So I hope that helps to explain to us how to create more formulas inside this. I just wanted to leave that, you can now aggregate your formulas before we go into the higher ways of creating formulas, right? So for your take home, I thought it was going to be an activity that we could do here, but we do not have time for your take home. Please try to do this activity. And I also already put in the answers, so just see if your answers are the same with mine. I've already put the first activity, remember, you can just copy that one and see if you do it. And feel free to reach out me or message me your, what is it called? To help you see if you got the same answer, okay? I might not respond so quickly because, our time zone, but I promise I will always respond. So matrix and cards. Now, quickly, let's look at how to, where is this all I wanted to talk about here? Yes. So let's quickly see how to add more things to our data. So, I'm happy we have gotten to this place. We can reduce the name of this to just put it to like number of product. Let's call this number of products. Just to make it look more professional, because it would be somehow if somebody sees count of sales, to make it look more professional, you can just put it number of transactions, right? Okay, so let's add more things to our table, because we're going to learn how to use different visuals. So now the next thing I would like us to add to our tables are cards, a matrix. Cards are very, very, very important in building PowerPoint, because Most times you just want to show that the total number of people here are this. This is what it is. No long story. So now to build cards, you go here. Here, there is something that looks like it has a thunder on top of it that says 1, 2, 3. Select it. That is your card. And say most times cards already or can only accommodate just one number. So let's say that for our card, we want to say, where do we say for this card? So let's say for our cards, we want to find out what is the total sales for this card. So it's mostly very important if you just want to pass across one information. Now, I think my focus is not going to be like on cards. My focus is going to be like, how do you format your cards? Because we call them cards. So if you also format them like tables, that would be really, useful, right? So now, how to format your cards?
Sir, hello, please. I have a question. Is the question is a little bit off from
Yeah,
what you're doing right now.
yeah.
How do I get my canvas background to be enlarged a little bit? Because on my screen it's quite it's not as big as yours, and I'm having a hard time having to fit things inside it.
Okay. You can close the things you're not using. For example, close if you're not using
I
the
did. I collapsed all the stuff, build and data and stuff.
down
But I'm
here. Did
still
you try zooming in here, down here?
okay. Oh,
Yeah,
all right.
exactly.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
experienced the same thing. I just zoomed down there to 80. Yes.
Thank you so much. Sorry for disrupting the flow of information you're
Sorry,
giving
that was
us.
important. I didn't get what she said now because I'm facing the same challenge, please. Where did you zoom, please?
Here,
I
down here.
can't find your QSO. Down,
Down here.
sorry, I'm looking for your QSO. Oh,
Down by your right. It might not be as big as mine
okay.
because I'm
Oh,
using
I see. Oh,
a
yeah, yeah.
gigantic screen, actually.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you so much. I've seen it. Oh,
So
that's
it might
great.
not be as big as mine, but if you zoom in, it will help. Yeah.
Okay, I've seen it. Okay,
And if
thank you.
your values are too tiny for you to, you know where to increase your values now, right? Like you go to the format
Yeah,
and go to yes.
Yeah, yeah.
it's
Thank you
clear.
so much.
Okay, let me bring this up then.
Jane, thanks.
You're welcome.
You brought it up.
Yeah, I brought it up. I just selected it and brought it up. So let's say we want to work on these cards. So cards are just when you want to pass one information. So sorry. So let's say that I don't like I already know I want to give this card a title and I want to remove this one here because I don't want it to have it if I already have it a title. So remember, play around your formatting and see what you love best, right? Sorry. Play around your formatting and see what you love. But let's go to the title because of time. And I just want to change the title and I just want to give it total sales. So
Sorry to drag us back. I still don't understand how we arrived at this card. What did you click that
click
produced
here.
this card for us?
Click on something
Okay,
that
okay.
has a
It was too small
lightning.
then.
Okay.
Yeah, thank
It
you.
has like a lightning
Thank you.
strike on top of it. And remember, you can close this build if your screen is not big and just be using here. I'm just used to looking at my right, so I left, but you can just use here. If you open here, it will show you, it already has a name on top of it to help you. Okay. Mm. Should I go ahead?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay, so let's give our title a color. I love blues. I don't want it to be on the text color. We set to default. I want the title to have a color, not on the text. Ouch. Oh. Now, I don't want a subtitle because I don't really need it. But if you need a subtitle, say you want to explain what this data is, you can always just put the long story that you want to tell here inside the subtitle. But just keep your work as clean as possible and turn it off if you want to. But for now, I can just turn it off, right? So now let's go to the cards. Now, I don't want this card to have a label. So I can go to the cards. I can select some of label, and I can find if you want your card to have another shape, you can select it down here. You can always change the shape here. You can show padding uniform on your tab. You can borderline it. Say you want to have a line. You want to make the borders to be thicker. You can change it here in the border. And if you want your card to have like a color, if you remember, there was something that I shared here. Oh, it is restarting. Please do not restart now. Okay. So you would notice that my cards here have colors on the background. That is where you can do that. If you want to have a background colors, say here. So let's say we want to have a background color, but it's not necessary. It's just we can have a
Sorry,
very
for my own card, after I clicked on it, I have different kind of cards, like average sales, total sales, lowest sales. Everything just came up. Immediately, I just clicked on the one you asked me to click on. So I have it like
you
15 mini cards in a box.
Maybe you left this box activated when you chose card. You cannot click on this box when you want to choose. You cannot still have this box clicked on when you want to do another build. You have to click outside of it.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Because if you click inside it, it means I don't want this to be a table anymore. I want it to be a card. So that's why that would happen. But if you click outside of it.
That's my mistake.
Okay, great. So we give this card another like background color. Let me put the title to come to the middle. I don't like the way it's okay, great. We already turned off the subtitle, right? So we already, let me see what else we could do.
Let's remove the sum of sales.
Yeah, I'm just trying to follow the format, So let's say do this color, we want it to glow more, like those different things that you could do here. And then call out. We want the sum of sales to be called out. We want the value, right? So notice what I did when I clicked on the call out. It's very important because sometimes some people will be like, but I don't see where to change it. If you click on the call out, remember to choose sum of sales, right? Especially if you have more than one card. But this card is only just sum of sales, so obviously you'll be all right even if you don't change it. But then let's say we do all. Because it's one card, you'll be fine, right? Then you will see that it will activate more things under the callout. So we can change the layout, we can change the pattern like I said earlier, we can change the value. Remember the thing we said about values? You can increase them, you can reduce them. Now the next will be the label. It is always under the value. On or off. I want it off because it's not really serving any purpose there. So you turn it off. And let's say we want the value to be in the middle also because it's a card and it's just passing one information, right? Then there's also something about cards that I wanted us to learn. That is how to change the inside. See, I don't want to see, like we have a number that's in thousands, for example. So remember, you can do Ctrl V if you don't want to change your formatting anymore. I do not know why we changed the shape of this, but it's fine. I kind of changed the shape of the card. You notice it's no longer rectangle. But let's say we don't want total sales here. We want it to be in thousands, just so I can pass the information that I'm trying to pass. So we want to have like average profit. let's say profit. So let me remove the sales and then put the profit. And it's still in millions, so let's try the average. Remember how to do this, please don't forget. And then remember you have to change the name because it will not change itself. And then you go here, average profit. But let's say you don't want it to be in K. You want this to appear in 1,000. So you scroll down to the part that we looked at before that had values, all right? I hate it when everything is expanded. Okay, great. That's average profits. Then you scroll down to to value. Scroll down to value. And you notice that the display unit is still showing auto. So you can go here and put it in 0, right? And then you can come here and see you want it in thousands. So now, remember we've always left it on auto, right? So now you can put it in thousands. And then, and then you want the 1,000 comma, that comma that comes out in 1,000 to come out, right? Please follow me on this because we haven't done it before. We go to properties. When we get to property, we see where it says data format. We have average profit. Then you want it to be a whole number. And then you want the 1,000 separators to be on. Then you can now go back to your visuals and change it to those smaller numbers. Like your 1,000 separator has to be on. Then go back to visual. They upgrade this. Looks like it's upgraded. Did anybody follow me on this? Hello?
Yeah, we copy. We copying. We're trying. We're
Yes.
trying.
Okay, so did you get to have the same view that I have? Remember, I don't have the key anymore because I turned on the 1,000 separators. And then I went back to the value. Okay, great. Someone said yes. Perfect. So now we no longer have a key. So let's say you don't want your number. So this is an example of if you wanted to show like the alphabet of million, thousand, and all that. And this is example if you don't want it to. So, now most times we work with dates, especially when you're doing a research. Most times you work with dates. You would notice that dates are not, mostly in Power BI, that the perfect way to show them is not using a table. The perfect way to show dates are using matrix. So we are back to example of using our matrix, like I said before. So let's click outside. Remember, if you are still clicking inside any of this, you will change what you have done before. Well, choose matrix. Now we're going to learn the importance of matrix is when you're number one, working with dates. Number two, you want to view more than 3 or 4 data at the same time, not as a table, but as reacting with each other. So let's look at how we can do matrix. So for example, we want to see, someone is saying something? Oh, he said yes. Okay. Trying not to be distracted by this. Okay, so we have our matrix, right? And you notice that unlike table, matrix has rows and columns. So it has this and it has this. It goes like
Sorry
this.
for dragging us back. On this profits,
Mm-hmm.
after clicking on the properties and are we clicking on whole number or the general number before we pick the 1,000 separator? Because mine is not separating.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, do you have your 1,000 separators on?
Yes, whole number and 1,000 separator, but it's
You have
still
it
on
on.
key.
Okay. If you
Yes.
have it on, then go back to visual.
Okay.
Go back to the value, the place we had the value.
Okay.
And then the display unit should be none. You don't want a display unit. You don't want it to have like a unit, like million, thousand, all that stuff.
Okay. I'm on virtuals, but I can't see the values.
Uh,
Cards.
do you see call out?
Yes.
Yeah, go to call out, scroll down, value.
Okay.
Have you
So
seen
what do I pick under the value? Yeah, I'm on value now.
display units? Did you see display units?
No, under the value, I don't have display units.
Did you choose that you want it to be applied to average of profit? Because you have to.
In the properties,
Yeah, in the apply settings to what are you applying the settings to? You have to choose average of profit.
average of profits. Yeah, average of profits.
You still don't see the display unit?
No, ma.
Okay. When we're done, we can look at it together.
Okay, thank
But
you.
you should be able to see the display unit.
When we are done, I'll share my screen for you to see.
Okay.
Thank you.
So quickly on matrix, I know some people are running out of patience already. Quickly on matrix before we finish. Damn, I thought we were gonna go far today. So product category, like, so we want to matrix is more like if you want to categorize into different roles so let's select as much as we can. Like let's just select plenty things. So we want to do product category. We want to do like channel. What do we want to see on columns? Columns, I try to keep it short because it means here we can choose like countries or regions or dates, So let's say we choose region. We will also learn how to use the date. Then our value, we can use sales as value, or we can use profit, whatever you prefer. And just like we have always done, you can choose your title, change your title, do whatever you want on the title. Just to not distract me right now, I'm gonna just turn it off because everything in my brain is saying edit the title, but we don't have the time.
Hello. Sorry. I just want to suggest that, it's getting very late and many people who joined, bearing that time in mind, have already exited. So I think we could schedule again. We could even kind of agree on the time based on your availability. We can agree on the time right here now, and we'll send emails to everybody that registered and let them know the new date, so that majority of people can flow along with the training. Because now we are almost down to half of the number we had from the
Oh
start.
yeah, that is true.
Yeah, and the number just dropped within past 20 minutes, that range of time. Yeah, so if we can, just kind of a suggestion so that everybody can have the maximum engagement. Even though I see that it's flowing, my apologies to those that are flowing right now. Yeah, but I think it would be nice if we, head for a summary, kind of hook it somewhere, and then carry on with the engagement.
Okay.
Like some people already had some other meeting fixed at a particular time, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I get it. I understand.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna summarize somewhere.
Yes, please.
So we'll summarize somewhere and then catch this up next time. Oh dear.
Right. You can check
Let me
your
see.
schedule and recommend time. Possibly, if you want you want to do it before the meeting ends, that'll be fine. If not, you can just let me know later, and we'll send an email to all the people that are registered. Also, sending this recording so that those who did not participate right now will have access to that before the next training session. But we have
Okay.
another engagement on next Saturday, so you could consider, if you prefer Saturday, that'll be fine, or you can also confirm with everybody
Okay.
as you deem fit.
I don't know. I think okay. I think we can send a what is it called, a survey in the group, in the chat, using the Zoom thingy, and just do a survey and see what preferred time. But I would prefer like a Saturday. And yeah, so next week is off out of it. So I would also not be available next week, Saturday. So on the 13th is good. I can do 13th.
Okay. So those who are around now, you can just bear that in mind. We'll send an email to remind all those that are registered, and also a link of the current recording, so we can take it up from there and continue. And also, if she communicates anything to us before then, we can also pass it across through the email. Maybe some kind of assignment or something that people can work on before that day to prepare them
Okay.
for. Yeah, something like that.
Okay, that works. Okay, let's close on Matrix, and then I'm gonna send like a practical activity inside here, and people can go back and work on it. And then next time we can do, because we haven't gotten into new visual calculation, like to calculate the visuals, but we can round up on this one. We can round up on Matrix.
Okay.
Okay, so let's just quickly look at this matrix and then we can get off on this. So if you notice something about matrix, you see that the arrows on the top of the matrix box or table is different from what appears on top of the table. So on top of table, you just see like filter or focus and all these other. But when you click on your matrix, you see it has more options. So this is for going up, this is for drilling down, this is for you just want the next hierarchy, and then this is for expand. So you want to expand everything at the same time. Sure. So remember we have categories and we have channels here. So we want to expand everything to see both the category and the channels. If you click on this, it expands everything. Expands everything at the same time. But if you don't want them expanded, you just want to view it once you drill up, it will go up. If you drill down, it will just go like down, right? Just one down. If you click on here, it will just go on next level hierarchy, which is the channel that we choose under. But if you choose here, it's going to expand everything. So let's say that we have it all expanded, right? And just like table, there are different other ways to format your matrix. And say, for example, you don't like your totals to be up here, you want your totals to be down here instead, like you want everything listed and then have your total down here. You can change all of that here. I think I can give that as an assignment. You go back, play around your format, and see if you can bring this total from here to here. And if you want to reach out to me before then, you can send me a reach out to look at it for you. But just try your best. It's not that it's something that you have to play around the formatting, and let me know if you can bring your total from here to down here. So more like more like the table, we have these other ones that has the title and the style and all that. And then you can now go into the values and change them the way you want them. The column headers, remember I said this is called column headers. So you want to change the column headers, you want them to be bolder. You can do that, make your column headers bolder. And now, oh, I don't want to say that, but let me just do it. Okay, so we have the subtotals already. Right, if we have them on, see, we can see the total. We have the row totals already, we have them on. It shows that we want them to be on the top. So that's why you see the rows are totaled on the top. If you select this, it goes to the bottom. Yeah, interesting, right? If you did not follow me, then still take it as an assignment. Try to see if you can bring it up from up to down. Then
Okay, no problem.
yeah, so
Though
just,
my own table, I don't have the up and down arrow. I don't know why.
oh really?
The
Okay.
expansion and minimization arrow, I don't have it.
Oh, okay.
But when I click on any of the this thing on the product category, it expands.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
great. So just play around the formatting when you get home and see what you can do. You can't be too wrong. This is not like you're going to send it to someone. So you're basically just trying to what is it called? Someone else is sharing their screen. You're basically just trying to be an expert at what you do. So just play around the formatting and just let me know if you're able to figure it out. So far so good. I'm hoping that we were able to grab one or two, if not anything else, you're able to know how to change to aggregate your data without having to go through like fixing them inside the raw data of adding average. And yeah, you can do them directly on your Power BI. You can create your cards, you can create your matrix, and also play around some of the other building. We will work on that because I thought we were going to get to the part where we learn how to use the maps and the graphs and the charts, but maybe we can do that next time. And how to also create more to like what is it called? How to create more visual calculations. So if you don't like the calculation here, you want to add more calculation to this, how we will do that. We'll touch on that later. But the good thing is like everybody now has Power BI. So next time we're not going to spend a lot of time downloading Power BI. And if we have any question, you can maybe if we close, I can just stay back for 5 minutes and see. I know there was someone I said I was going to look at their work after the meeting. We can just look at it if you have any question.
Yeah, please, I have a question.
Yeah, so far so good. Thank you all for engaging and not keeping me quiet. It felt good to hear back someone say yes, they were following me, and no. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lena. We're really excited and grateful to you for your graciousness and graceful presentation with plenty of smiles. And we are really grateful, really, really grateful. And want to thank everybody that also took time to participate. The reason we are excited that you're participating and doing that actively is because it makes us know that your research or your business is going to do better. And if it does better for you, it is doing better for Africa. The vision of OAD is to enhance the quality of life in Africa through research, technology, and innovation. So anyhow, we can bring opportunities to our people to make it easier for them to advance their capacities and competencies in the various things they are doing. It gives us a lot of joy. So we rejoice with you for having gathered the competencies you are able to gather. We will follow up again on the 13th of June, as our sister has mentioned. And please, if you haven't followed the OAD WeChat channel, you may scan directly or take a screenshot of it and scan it to be able to follow. It allows us communicate this and make it available to other people that will be able to find us as a result of your engagement. And we also want to emphasize, which we will do subsequently even more seriously, that our commitment for doing this is not just because we want you to do well in research or in business, but we actually want you to attain financial independence and particularly be a proxy for your community or your village. We'll get more details about how we're doing that, the structures we put in place to make that happen. We are working towards engaging, and we have made significant progress at the moment where we already have people across 50 African countries, over 50 African countries. And these people are going to be representative of various countries. And the structures we are putting in place in China here and in other countries, we use those to facilitate economic activities within the various communities and villages across Africa, particularly 50,000 villages that we're going to be engaging. So each person is going to be a proxy. Each person is a determined proxy. You're going to be financially independent, and we will expect you to do that, extend the channels and the opportunities we're putting in place to also people around your place. And in the years ahead, we will see these things unfold. At the point when it is communicated, it sounds like it's difficult, but we have plans, we have strategies, we have tested them, and we have seen how it's working. In the months ahead, not long from now, we will be able to have some meetings that will allow us give more details in that regard. Not to keep us very much longer in this place, ladies and gentlemen, please accept our greetings from the Executive Council of OAD Global and the OAD Global Resident Think Tank, the structures in place allowing us to make things happen. Wishing you all the best as you take some rest for those in China and all the people in other places. We will communicate a link of the registry of the YouTube for everybody to see what has been done in the past and prepare themselves as we move further. Wish you all the best, and thanking once again our sister, Dr. Nenna. We're really grateful, and we're wishing you all the best. And if there are any things you're trying to do that are difficult for you, our collective good wishes and prayers, we hope that will help dismantle anything that may be troubling you in whatever way. And we look forward to good advancements in many dimensions as we grow together and get things done. For next Saturday, which is 6th, we will have our brother, Dr. Jackson Nko, who is going to talk to us about using AI in research. You cannot wait for anything. It's going like wildfire, and you cannot avoid it. It's like a person trying to say, at that time when during my undergraduate days, we were using typewriter to type our thesis, a project. And at the point when computers became more rampant and everybody had to use that. So if anybody would say, I'm not going to use much of AI in research, it would be like a person saying, I'm going to stick to using typewriter to type my thesis when the world is moving towards computers, laptops, and things of that nature. So no one can really hide from it. The earlier we get stronger at it and use it ethically and without damaging our brains, the better for all of us. So looking forward to the various engagements. Once again, if you haven't followed the OAD WeChat channel, do that as quickly as you can, and wishing you all the best. Looking forward to further communications. Thanks once again, Dr. Nenna. Do have a wonderful time as you jump into your day. Happy weekend.
You too. Happy weekend.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. Right. So if anybody else is asking her any further thing, please, you can go ahead to do that. But we are officially closed for tonight.
Okay. Someone did not get the activities that I sent in, so I'm just gonna send them in again.
You can send me the activity and we'll send it by email to everybody who has registered as well.
Okay.
But for those who are here, you can send it and then they can pick it up.
So this is one.
Yeah, but send me on WeChat as well later, and we'll send it across the emails.
Okay.
All right.